Ahoy, ahoy, Uncle Chunt here, finally back from the EB Games Expo. As you probably saw on the page, I put up some updates throughout the day. It was quite the entertaining experience. I had a great time, so let's get stuck into my events of the day. So I got to the EB Expo about 8 o'clock when the press were allowed in before the public, and I pretty much got everything I wanted to do done within an hour and a half. So I ran around like I took his head off, I'll tell you that. Basically just had to cover the Xbox booth, and then one amazingly special thing happened, which I'll leave to the very end because, yeah. So the first thing I did, I made a beeline to the Xbox booth and went to Gears of War 4. I've been busting to play this game for a while since the beta, and I wanted to try the campaign because the beta I was in was just the multiplayer beta, of course. So I played the demo that they had for the campaign. Yeah, it feels right at home. I'm really happy about it. It feels like Gears. It's in really good hands, which I'm happy to feel and see. It's a really good looking game, I'll say that. I know it's only a week away. I didn't want to spoil it for myself too much because it's my thing. It's really special to me. So I was a bit hesitant in playing these demos there, but curiosity got the better of me. And I must say, I'm even more hyped to play the full game now that I know that it feels like it's legit and it's in the good hands and it's been done with care and love. It's what it feels like. To me, it feels like a legit Gears game. It's not like when you get those other games that are handed off to other developers and they don't quite feel the same, they don't have the same magic. Well, this has that, like the good side, I mean, like it feels like it's got the same magic in there, so I can't wait. I didn't get to hear a lot because it was very loud in the headphones I had on were really quiet. There's no option to kind of crank them up or anything like that, but so I can't really say too much about the sound. But as far as how it plays and looks, man, it could potentially be the best looking game on Xbox One so far. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled because when that game comes out, I'm going to put up a review for it. I'm going to be dead honest with it, so don't say just because I'm a fanboy that I'm just going to give it a 10 or a high rating. I'll be fair. If you love something, you'll be truthful. Later on the day, Dan and I got to go back and went for another run through it. I'd already done it, but Dan hadn't. So when we went in there, we had the special treatment. We just kind of waved our press passes and everybody else went onto smaller screens for the multiplayer, and we wanted to do the campaign. So the guy's like, alright, you two come with me, and he showed us over to these massive 4K TVs, and the game was running on PC, so it was like top notch, and my lord, it looks amazing. I know I already said that about just how it was normally on the normal TVs and whatever, normal monitors that they had there, but on a massive 4K display. That was the first time I've ever played a game or seen a game on a 4K display. Yeah, I'm gobsmacked. I'm sold on investing in a 4K monitor now. The next game that I went straight to was Forza Horizon 3. I know it's already out, but I haven't picked my copy up yet because I haven't had a chance to get around to it. And I went down to Sydney for the weekend, and I'm going to pick it up this week and get hooked into it. But it really solidified my excitement for the game. I've only really played the mainline Forza series. I've never played a Horizon game before, so this will be new for me. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I can't say too much about the visuals. Besides, they're excellent. Like, they look stunning. And coming from Australia myself, seeing the familiar lighting and locations, and it feels like Australia, which I'm glad they nailed. So I can pick up my copy and get straight into that. It's going to take a sideline to Gears of War 4, of course, but it's okay. At least I have a racing game to kind of chill out and fall back on. But look, the demo itself was great. Played that fancy Lamborghini car cruising around Surfers Paradise in the outback and stuff. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. If you're not a fan of racing games, this might be for you. Like, I don't play a lot of racing games as a rule. It's not my thing. Even the Forza mainline series, it's a bit too simulation-y for me, but it's so beautiful and it plays so well and it's so fun that I don't mind buying these games and just taking the leap. I've always been satisfied with them, but these ones seem to be a bit more casual and arcade based, not so simulation and you know, ruthless as far as its gameplay and functionality, like to the legit cars. So if you're up for something a bit more casual, a bit more fun, a bit more lighthearted, this one might be for you. So yeah, go for it, go nuts. And the next demo I went to was Dead Rising 4. Now, look, I played Dead Rising 1 back in the day. Wasn't my cup of tea, I must say, but it definitely has its fan base, and that's good. It's good to see. However, they've kind of lost any kind of seriousness, I guess, that they might have in the series. I know it's always been over the top, but this one seems to have taken a page out of Sunset Overdrive. I loved that game because it was just so fun and it didn't take itself seriously at all. And it's kind of what they're doing here. Like it knows what it is, and it knows that it needs to be over the top, or it should be, because that's what the fans love, with all the customization and making your own weapons and just the insane amount of zombies on screen. There's an insane amount of zombies on screen. Like, when I say that, I mean it. Like, the whole screen is just littered with them, like the most I've ever seen on screen before. So it looks like a lot of fun. The demo that I played, it was a real basic demo. It was just real hack and slashy, just zombies everywhere. And like, it's not my thing. I got a little bored with it, I'll say that. But if you're a fan of the game, like, you're gonna love it. It's not the prettiest game, but for what you get, with the amount of sprites and models on screen and everything that's going on, you know, you've got to expect those kind of drawbacks. But hell, like, if you're a fan of the game, like, I know if I was a fan, this game would be like amazing to me. So yeah, Dead Rising 4, go for it if it's your thing. I don't like zombies in a whole, like, it's not my thing. So any game like that, I'm not going to really get into. So, you know, I can't help be biased on that one. I'm just being honest with you. So yeah, Dead Rising 4, go for it if it's your thing. That's all I can say. So the real special part of the expo, besides catching up with all the GamePlug crew, which is really awesome. It's been a couple of years since I've seen everybody, and a couple there I even missed last time, so that was really cool. But walking around the floor during the hour or so of press time we had before the public came out, actually I was heading just past the Xbox booth to go down the other end of the hall to check out something else, and someone caught my eye. So, and I was like, I recognize that person. They had an entourage around them, and I had to double take, and I was like, well, yeah, wasn't. Oh my fucking god! And I was like, what? That's Phil Spencer. Oh, just my mind was just going bang, 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 like fireworks all over the place. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, no. I kept walking, and I kind of turned around. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, oh, do I? You know, oh, he's probably, you know, he's got his entourage. He probably doesn't want to be interrupted. You know, he's probably walking the floor to get familiar and check out the Xbox booth. And then I kind of followed him for a bit, and then walked beside him for a little bit. And it's like, fuck, you know, should I just do this? Like, once in a lifetime opportunity. It's his first time in Australia. You know, oh, come on, Chunt, don't be a wolf. Just what's the worst thing that could happen? They just palm me off. So I was like, bugger it. And I just kind of, I beelined and just went, holy crap, Phil. And the entourage were like, what? I was like, oh my god, Phil, what are you doing out here? Like, I didn't expect you to be walking the floor, man. Like, I'm just checking out your Xbox booth, and then I'm walking to you. This is blowing my mind right now, mate. And he's just kind of laughing, and her, his PR lady was kind of like ecstatic, like the reaction. And I was watching her the whole time in the corner of my eye, and she was like, she was loving my action, like she was laughing and carrying on and stuff. And like, you know, Phil was really kind of like, you know, watching me and focusing and, like, you know, welcoming me and stuff, and kind of, you know, enjoying my reaction, or kind of, you know, I guess he's used to it by now. But you know, he asked me a bunch of questions about, you know, what do I think and all this kind of stuff, and I've been telling him what I've been checking out. Like I said, oh look, mate, I've just cut through your Xbox booth, played all the demos, and he's like, oh yeah, so do you like it? You know, you're happy with what you're playing? Anything you don't like? And, you know, asking me these kind of questions, and we talked back and forth. And you know, he asked where I was from, and I told him. You know, I said, I know you're probably not going to know the layout of Australia, but I told him where I was from and how long it takes to get here, and, you know, whatever. And, you know, he was like thankful that that I made the trip, and I was like, mate, I don't want to push it. Like, this is really blowing my mind, and like, I'm totally fangirling in front of you. I know it's embarrassing, but I don't want to push the issue, but is it okay if I can get a photo? And he was like, yeah, of course, you know. He was totally happy with doing that, and I was stoked. You know, I was hoping he wasn't going to say no because I'd be cut up, but I'm glad that he said yes. And you know, I got to shake his hand a couple times, got a couple of photos. His PR lady took the photos, so I guess she would deem that as a good thing. You know, the fan interaction, all that kind of stuff goes a long way, I guess. So yeah, that was great. Like, I was joking with the GamePlug guys for weeks before the Expo time, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, if I run into Phil, or if I get to meet Phil, or if something happens and I get to meet Phil, because I've loved what he's done with the product and Xbox since he's taken over the last 2.5 years. And I told him so. I was like, mate, I've been playing Xbox since the original one. And he was like, oh, that's great to hear, because like he was working on the original Xbox, and he's been with Microsoft for like 28 years or something. So you know, I guess for him to hear that someone is enjoying what he's helped build over since the original Xbox, you know, I guess that would, you know, mean something to him, I guess. So it was good to hear that, and he was thankful. So you know, it was a really good interaction. Look, coming from Rockhampton, where nothing happens, and there is no gaming scene here, and nothing to do, and then you travel down to Sydney through an afternoon, and the next day you're in Sydney in the EB Expo. Your mind's being blown left and right, and then you walk into Phil Spencer. You can only imagine how that feels for someone like me that comes from a place where nothing happens. So I know that probably a lot of other people out there are just like, oh yeah, this is everyday stuff. But for me, someone in my position, shit, man, like I just appreciate it so much that was able to happen, and it was totally worth the trip. Like, it was already, but for that particular moment to happen, I was like, what sequence of events had to happen for that particular time where he's in Australia and I'm in the Expo at the same place at the same time is amazing to me. Overall, like, it was a really great experience. A lot less people there last time. I was there 2 years ago, and it was absolutely chockers, like shoulder to shoulder chockers. But this time, like, you could get around there so easily, and the lines weren't really that bad either. So I don't know what's happening with the Expo. There just really wasn't a lot of people. So hopefully it's not a sign of bad things to come, but who knows. I had a great time anyway, so regardless. So anyway, that's my like really long half in-depth experience for my time at the EB Expo. The other guys are going to be putting up their stuff as the week goes on. I just wanted to keep it real personal and just chat about my experience. And yeah, lots more stuff to come, guys, so stick around. Anyway, until the next one, toodaloos.